go through my bag to know the items I carry for my O&G. I'm just coming back from the clinic now. We had gynecology clinic, gyna for short. But it's usually gynecology and obstetric clinic, right? So we are posted right now I'm posted under the O&G, then later on the section I will switch and be under the pediatrics unit, right? But now it's O&G, and I've been getting some comments. What are the things I carry to school, to my normal classes, to the O&G clinic for postings and all of that? I think I'll consider doing a one-on-one consultation section or med school prep. What you should have in med school, things you should have when you're going for your posting, medicine posting, surgery posting, O&G posting, and pediatrics posting. So right now I'm just going to be showing you all things that are in my bag, or things I should have, things a medical student should have while going for while going for he or her O&G, obstetrics and gynecology posting. So without saying anything much, first of all, what is O&G? What is obstetrics and gynecology? So obstetrics is basically prenatal checkups, high risk of pregnancy, postpartum care, and education on breastfeeding and all of that. While gynecology is mostly on like infections, hormonal changes like PCOS, menstrual disorders, menopause, routine checkups, antenatal checkups, and all of that. But these are the things a medical student should have while going to the gynecology clinic. First and foremost, you should have your notebook that you can use to jot down things that the consultants might be saying, the house officer might be saying, or the registrar, resident doctor, and all of that. So you should have your notebook. So for me, I just have a book practically for O&G postings, everything about O&G, anything that's happening in the clinic, right? I have a book for classes like lectures, and I have a book for my specific reading. So let's say like 3 books for just O&G, right? Gynecology and obstetrics. Though you can choose any notebook you want, you can buy a thick cover notebook or any of your preference. So after my notebooks, I have there is this handbook, right, that is recommended for medical students, whether you're in pediatrics or O&G, right? This handbook is rule of thumb, gynecology and obstetrics and gynecology, though they have the guide, yes, the guide for obstetrics and gynecology. So you can purchase any of these. I think you meet your school academic coordinator, the academic coordinator in your school, right, or in your class. This is like a handbook, like I said earlier, where you can just open and find pinpoint headlines on what you want to find instead of going through the long notes in your textbook. This gives you like detailed headlines of this is this is this, listings of courses of something or all of that. This is like a handbook that maybe if they ask you a question in class or you're going for clerking, you want to clerk a patient, you can just open it and see, okay, I'm to do this, I'm to do this. It's just like a foresight before you get to see the textbook, right? You can carry this around, unlike the textbook. If you don't have strength to carry the textbook around, so this is quite handy for you to be with. So get this. The next thing you should have is your logbook, right, for O&G, right? Your logbook for O&G. So in this logbook is more like where they assess you, to know that you've been going to the clinic, to know that you've been clerking patients, more like, because after the end of each day or after the end of each clinical posting or rotation you go to, there's a space for the consultant to sign, saying that, okay, this person came for this, saying that I came for this posting, I cleared this patient, I went for ward rounds and all of that. In this logbook, there's a space for gynecological clinic, like I went today, and they signed for me to say yes, I came. There's space for antenatal. Our antenatal clinic is usually on Mondays. There's space for record of patients clerks. There's space for ward rounds attended, like today we went for ward round. There's space for operation cases observed, maybe like a cesarean section and all of that. So as a medical student, you should have this logbook as a clearance to, maybe during exam time, you can present this to say, you can be proud to say, okay, yeah, I'm an O&G student, I know what to do in O&G, I know what to do in gynecology, I know what to do in obstetrics. So after that, you should have your stethoscope, though this is maybe optional, but it's just needed when maybe you're going for ward rounds and it's time to check someone's blood pressure, or your consultant just says, okay, you come and check this person's blood pressure, instead of it being an embarrassment that they tell you to come and do something and you're not equipped. So it's better you just go with your stethoscope, in case maybe the consultant or whosoever is not with his or hers, so you can just use your own and figure out the person's blood pressure. Or in the clinic too, you can use this to figure out someone's blood pressure. So that is all for that. That is basically what is in my bag. Then probably my AirPod, which is not related to gynecology, right? It's just for personal use. Probably I'm in the clinic and I want to watch a video based on what what has been taught, or based on a case someone presents with to the clinic. I might just use this to watch the video, to prevent noise from the video, to the people sitting around me, and all of that. So lest I forget, you should have your lab coats too. Like they say, one of my consultants used to say, coming into the clinic or coming into the ward, your lab coat differentiates you from the relative of your patient. So you should always wear your lab coat if you're a medical student and you're going to the gynecology clinic, or you're going to the clinic, whether it's medicine, surgery, what have you. Always be with your lab coat. Or in cases when there's an operation to be observed, you go in with your scrub and cross. So that is basically it, I guess. And maybe thermometer for some persons, which to check a patient's temperature during ward rounds. And oh, so that is it. And basically your pen and so you could write down things, because it will be so absurd of you or unintentional of you to be going for clinics, to be going to the hospital without writing material. Why? So what's the need of going to the hospital? Though the clinic is for you to observe, right? But there might be some things that the consultants might say that was not really said during the lecture or the class in the lecture period, that you need to pen down, or some cases you get to see in the clinic that you just have to pen down, and maybe after the clinic period you can go home, read what you've read. You can go home, read what you saw in the clinic, like a revision sort of, and also read what your consultant said earlier during the clinic. So that is basically that. I hope this video reaches 8 minutes, because I hope it does. So if you're a medical student watching this video and you're up to 500 level in school, do mention other things that I didn't say here that you could have as an OBGYN student going to the clinic. Yes, and besides, my name is Dara, a 500 level medical student in Abia State University.